Halloween, a lot of stuff was handed out to trick-or-treaters. You know, candy, weed stuff or whatever, razor blades. All of this is just myths, but it's not good enough. Those are old school myths. We need new myths being spread on Halloween. And one guy in Toronto decided to appease us. He handed out these. These are anti-vax cards, postcards full of facts about vaccines. I really hoped we could crop in on that. Anyway, so it says, should children get a shot that they don't need? A shot that's harming and killing many thousands of people all over the world? This may be the most important decision you will ever make for your child. Make an informed decision. But you handed it to a kid. The kid doesn't have kids, I hope. But this is what's happening. This movement that, of course, would say that trying to like propagandize kids is the worst thing you can do, filled their little orange plastic pumpkins with anti-vaccine propaganda. And they, CTV News Toronto tracked down the guy that did this. He said he absolutely does not feel bad about handing them out. He said he gave out about 30 postcards with 2 sets of parents handing them back. That's an interesting choice rather than to just like ball it up and throw it on his yard, to actually hand it back, Jayar. But did you go trick-or-treating with your son?
We didn't this year, but for completely outside factors. But no, we have obviously in the past every other year. And this is one of those things, man, he took it to a different level. Because generally kids run up on, to the doors and trick or treat. And if there's parents accompanying them, they're usually out at the end of the driveway or whatever, right? So this is again directed towards parents. The wording is directed towards parents. You forgot your audience, bro. So I'm sure there's probably of those 2 parents that handed it back is because they actually got it from their kids. The other kids who got it, 28, are like, yeah, whatever, bro.
Yeah,
it's really weird. And also, so this is, and by the way, more power to the guy. Hey, go ahead, give out your flyers to kids who aren't gonna read it and don't really give a damn about what you're writing. Because usually the bad house is the one that gives out the Tootsie Rolls. You've just determined that you're definitely the bad house that nobody wants to go to for any other year in the future.
Yeah, people are liking the Tootsie Roll. I personally, I like Tootsie Rolls, but like you're worse than the Apple House. Like,
yeah, okay.
You're worse than the hand sanitizer house. Like you're giving them paper that they are going to throw away. That's it. And you can do this, sure. You're free. I mean, people came to your house. You can hand out whatever you want, but this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take this holiday that's like supposed to be about kids like enjoying themselves, and you're gonna turn it into a nonsense. Okay, fine. That's a direction you can go if you want. But anyway, there have actually been good developments in this area. He was striking just in the nick of time because this week, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said that she was endorsing a recommendation to vaccinate children between the ages of 5 and 11 against COVID-19. And in fact, they've been moving fast. It had been approved by a CDC panel earlier this week. Then the CDC director approves it. Now CVS is saying it will begin giving the Pfizer vaccine to kids on Sunday, while Walgreens will begin administering the shot for kids on Saturday. I guess Rite Aid's gonna jump in on Friday. I don't know, but it's coming very soon. This has been developing fast. So get ready for your kids to be turned into zombies starting in just a few days.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming this way. And that's, again, the smart thing about the conservative approach to this is they knew this was coming because that's how science works. They're eventually looking to protect everyone. So yeah, once it starts happening, get ready for the narrative to get somehow, I'm not sure if it's possible, to get increased even further now for the, they're coming for your kids. See, then now they've upped the shot. That's what they said they're gonna do. Like, these aren't scary revelations. These are expected revelations. They're just gonna put them as scary so people can start saying, oh, you're gonna kill your kid with this vaccine now? This was coming, we knew.
Yeah, and I'm sure, look, I'm sure some milquetoast moderate candidate will lose next year because of this or whatever, I don't know. And we'll get blamed for it, but it is important that this is happening. Recent data shows that children are getting infected by COVID-19 and transmitting the virus as readily as adults, even though half of them show no symptoms. Vaccinating children is expected to reduce overall COVID-19 transmission by an estimated 8% among all groups, or about 600,000 infections through next March. So that is great. And by the way, since the beginning of this whole thing, nearly 2 million children between 5 and 11 have been infected by the virus, resulting in 8,300 hospitalizations, including more than 2,300 cases of a complication known as multi-system inflammatory syndrome. There have been 94 deaths among children up to age 18, 745 deaths. So they are being hospitalized and dying at much lower rates. That's true, but they are freely spreading it to adults who do die and get hospitalized at those higher rates. Those 600,000 infections, how many less trips to the hospital? How many fewer deaths will that represent? It'll probably save a few kids too, but it might save far more adults once we get the kids vaccinated.
Still looking for the negative side of this. If it lowers any deaths for any numbers, why is that not a good thing?
Lower ivermectin sales, I don't know. Anyway, by the way, on the pre-show today, we were talking about there was a study that seemed to indicate that ivermectin was helping or whatever, had to be retracted because it turned out that the study's data that they'd analyzed wasn't the data they'd gathered. It was some like sample data set used to train people. They had accidentally analyzed that instead. There's definitely something with this ivermectin thing. It's definitely worth grifting on.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.